GM. GM. Early one today. 6:15 UTC. Wow. Saturday, 19th, 20th. Didn't get it right today. Damn. I think it's the 20th. Yes. 20th of January. Daily levels. So here's where we're at. I drew these random squiggles on the live stream last night. And pretty much something like this is what I expect to see from Bitcoin. Maybe pushes one higher, but probably just drops back down. And we just see really low volatility. Nothing super exciting really for the market. I think Bitcoin just needs to sort itself out. I think it will broadly stay in this bottom range. It can definitely go higher than where it currently is. I don't see it going straight up to here. It could possibly be part of the reaccumulation that I talked about. I can't remember where the exact drawing I had of it was. It's not there. On one of these, or it was reaccumulation. There we go. So monthly looks nice. There we go. So this reaccumulation schematic was following nicely, holding. Broke to the downside instead of the upside. So now you have to look at it as it can be a couple of different things. First, it can just be a downtrend, and each of these bounces is going to get sold into, and we'll sort of sell off slowly till we get to wherever we're going. It's a bit like sort of the June, July price action over here, where price just kind of weakens, eventually fills an old gap in. Or it can be what we have here, which is taking out the lows, trapping below the lows, and now back inside. Right, so trap below the lows, back inside, and away we go to the other side. That would be one other potential path. So, which do I think it is? I'm not sure, to be honest. It's setting up like as if it's going to hold and push higher. There's definitely going to be some over aggressive shorts that have come in. There's definitely going to be some longs that have panicked and closed early. So I'm certainly not bearish. This is kind of the main thing. I'm just not going to trade it. And I'm just going to continue holding the spot and accumulating spot if any altcoins or anything comes to decent levels. There's no reason to really be becoming mega bearish here. It's held 40K. Held 40K again for the fourth or fifth time. Now, it doesn't mean it can't go lower, but as long as 40K is still holding, there's no point becoming a bear either. And I do think that we can just drift down here. As it goes sideways on this weekend, I think it can just fall back down into more chop before even grinding back up. I don't think it's going to be necessarily like given any good trading opportunities. I think that's the main thing I would say. I don't think it's going to give really any good trading opportunities. And as we look at that, if you step away from Bitcoin for a bit, about 3 come down towards support overnight, or not overnight, but yesterday. Quite a nice reaction of it as well. Like there's clearly some demand down here. There's clearly some demand. You can see very similar with over here. 1 retest, a few days later, retest, 1, 2, retest, a few days later, retest. You don't get these big wicks down into the support if it's not support. Like You don't see it, right? When there's any true weakness, you don't see these deep wicks that get bought up multiple times into the same zone. I talked exactly about 460. That's why that alert is set as support. Talked about this exact level, saying, will it hold? It has held. So just imagine for a second that you were, can't do bar replay. Just imagine for a second over here. I talked about this on some streams, a few days ago. You get your test, you retest here. You get your test, your retest. When price is up here, when price is breaking out up here and people are FOMOing in, you'd be saying, oh, if only I get a retest of this support, right? When it's sitting at 477, you're like, I'm not going to FOMO in. Hopefully I get a retest of 430. Then it comes. Do you take it? Just like test, pumps up. Oh, alts look great. 520, 525. I hope I get a retest of 460. Did you take it? Right? Or did the candles and all the bad news make you scared? It's interesting the way psychology plays on you. So I think the level of negative sentiment online doesn't match the actual price, which is nowhere near as bad. And that probably sets up for some kind of squeeze or stronger move, actually. I think people are going to be again left behind with the whole, this is the thing. They'll panic and sell and get negative, and then just get left behind as market moves away again. I don't know if it's going to move soon, or if it's going to be like a move up, a move back, up, back. I don't know. Is it just the start of a downtrend? Could be as well. It's not impossible. This is your high and then your lower high bounce. So just from this perspective, that's exactly what you'd see before price goes lower. But the thing is, price keeps holding up. So I can't call that, right? I can't call this lower high bounce valid until that support breaks, which is here. Until this breaks, you just cannot call that weak. Until it breaks, and by breaks, it actually has to break. It has to go down below it and hold below it. Not like just coming along like this. That's not breaking. Sweeping it. None of that's breaking. That's bullish. So for me, nothing much is overly concerning. Here's one of the things I want you to look at with a lot of these alts. A lot of these alts are just going into stair stepping down. And the reason they're doing this is because all the way up, right, people kept trying to short here because they didn't believe it. Kept trying to short here. And then people stopped shorting. They stop shorting, they don't short, and now everyone's afraid to short, right? So a big part of the reason why the market is turning over is because there's no organic buyer, right? There's nobody willing to buy at these levels, and people are now willing to short. And not you need shorts and longs in a market that's a healthy market. But just what it means is this last phase here, everyone is afraid to short, right? So it's quite likely for that move to unwind back to where we started. And from there, as you can obviously see from previous, it could go all the way back down. I think fetch goes no lower than that. 35 is the absolute low if it does go there. And I don't think it does even go there, but it depends. If we get several months, if we get 3 months of bad price action, then yeah, you're going to see a stair step down. It's going to be really frustrating for bulls who aren't patient. It's going to chop them up, and then it's just going to run. So keep an eye on that. Let's just sort of, with some of these alts, the price action looks a bit like that. GM. I'll see you later on the live stream, 5 p.m. UTC.